It's really nice to do together one of these longer, sittings. Some of you might feeling some pain in the legs. Question. That was 55 minutes. 56. But it wasn't really longer. It wasn't longer than our usual 35 minutes. You think it was longer. I'll bet 99% of you think that that sitting was longer. Than sittings we've done before. But it wasn't longer. I can prove that to you scientifically. But first, let me explain why that happens. Sometimes it's nice. Anytime it's nice, actually. But we have beginners. We want to be an embracing practice together, so we won't make things that discourage people's normal conceptual sense of limitation or endurance or what I can do or I can't do. So we don't do it, but to sit, to be for longer. See, there's the mistake again. For longer sittings. If you allow that, then the bungee jump, the unclenching, all day we're clenching around some issues, some problems, some suffering, some remainders, some memories, some plans, some fears. We're clenching, contracting. This is the activity of the thinking mind, contracting. Another word for that is psychology, the thinking mind. We're contracting. So in practice, letting go, we're letting go. We do these short ones and we let go. But when you do these, when you let yourself really have a bigger space of unclenching. See, we didn't do anything for 55 minutes. We didn't do more sitting. Your thinking thinks that, and that's okay. Just like some of you think that you're in countries with a name called Greece, and someone thinks they're in a country called Norway, and someone else thinks they're in Germany. Just have you've gotten used to that thinking. But ask a bird outside if that's really Greece. Ask the cat outside your door, is this Norway? Ask the barking dog. If this is Germany or not. So just as we have this kind of, we make these convenient mistakes and live by them, and we must, because we're rational creatures. In the same way you think you did a 55-minute sitting, you think so, And that's okay. But you didn't do more sitting. In fact. But the reason why we do this, there's the mistake again. Anytime there's thinking, there's a mistake. So we're going to use this mistake to open something. When we experience these longer unclenching, this more expansive, shall we say, still mistaken, but pointing to the same. But when we allow this more mistaken expansiveness idea, when we allow this, then more unclenching, more. The unclenching can endure longer. And this infinite vastness opens up. Actually, it's already open, but your closedness to it opens up more completely to it. And then you can get that it's the same moment. So I'll get back to the point I raised. You think we did 55 minutes sitting. You think this is more than our usual sitting. But take your hands and put them like this. That's a meter of space. We do this all day in so many situations. Oh, that's 3 meters away from here. That's 3 meters. I need to get something to fit. That's only 3 meters. Okay, it's okay. Let's do this. This is a meditation period. This is our usual meditation period, 35 minutes, because we have beginners and we want to have something that's not a big bite. Today we did 55 minutes. So we say that this space is shorter, what we usually do, this space is shorter than today, right? We say that. Some of you, not knowing what was going on, saying, why did he make it longer? Beautiful, this practice. How clear Zen pointing is. Not me, Zen, this observation. Look, this is our usual sitting. This is today's sitting. So you say one is longer than the other, right? Your thinking says that, and that's okay. But look, which one of those spaces is bigger now? Is really one of them longer than the other? In fact, in reality, space is always the same length. This is just a thought experiment, so we need to use length. Space is always the same length, which means it's infinite. It has no length. People say, oh, that'll just take a moment. We use this all the time. But actually, in your sitting, you experience, whether you're doing it 35 minutes or 55 minutes, you experience that moment is infinite. It's actually infinite. For purposes of human behavior, we say a moment. And our mind actually thinks that, a moment. But actually, this is the power of meditation. You see that moment has no limit lines, borders, edges. It has no container. Moment is just now. Mistake, moment is just this infinite never comes, it never goes. One moment is not longer than another when you're really doing it, being it. However way we need to use thought to, again, a mistake. Moment is that's why when I give talks in different places or in this Dharma room, I notice how it freaks people out. One will really freak people out. And you can tell, freak out in the sense. When you say that this moment, yeah? This moment is the same moment that Jesus of Nazareth was killed on the cross, on a hill outside Jerusalem. It's the same moment. It's the same moment. I use that example because that's common to us. I could say a Buddha thing, but we might have some people who don't connect so readily to that time frame of history, but all of our calendars and history is pegged to that, BC, AD, and all that stuff. So I'm just using a referent that's common. Moment. It's the same vast space, moment. It's the same always and everywhere. Just like this. Yeah, oh, that's 1 meter of space. Or this is 2020. That was the year zero, or he died in what, 33, 34. That was a long time ago. But that's just a thought. That's just a concept we've put there about time, and we live by it. My plane leaves in 2 hours. I got to get this stuff done and get out. Okay, we live by it. And we live by it so readily and so constantly and so reliably, so necessarily, that then that makes us believe also that reality carries those measuring sticks all over it. But all of these things, when you take this away, when you're not describing it or needing to convey it to someone or yourself, guess what? Where's your 1 meter of space now? Where is she? Where did we put her? Where is she? Okay. So if you're thinking, you don't get that. That's why we sit. So we just do it. We don't even do it. There's not an it to do. So that's why this is the meaning, you could say, is one way of the meaning behind the Heart Sutra. All dharmas are marked with emptiness. They do not appear or disappear, are not dirty or pure, do not increase or decrease. My hands do. But the Dharma of space never increases or decreases. Thinking increases, decreases. Thinking is not Dharma. So that's our trap. Oh, this stuff is so much worse for me these days than 5 years ago. It was so much better. I had such a... You were different then. Why does that? Yeah, thinking increases and decreases and then is trapped by this concept. So that's why we return to the practice. Even all of this speech is a huge, 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 unforgivable mistake. but I gotta do some pointing from time to time. So what we're doing, we have this sitting, is we're not really doing anything. The legs and something, they have their job. They have nothing to do with you. Body, the shoulder, the breathing, it knows what to do. Get the hell out of the way. Leave me alone. It's kind of the attitude. Eyes. We have tiredness and we have things that are happening. But sometimes if you can really just, oh, when's it going to be over? Oh, my leg hurts. I have to go. If you do some of these long sittings sometime, you can bring yourself, you can be yourself more profoundly into that bungee jump, that slow motion bungee jump. Like that scene from The Mission. I think it's just falling off over the waterfall. Just this release into the absolute. So that's why sometimes I, without warning, will just let it run. To shock your thinking mind. I mean, it's not the intent, but it's going to happen. Then you so your mind is like, oh, that was too much. Oh, my leg's going to hurt all day. Oh, why did I do that? If I knew beforehand, I could have gotten a different cushion under here. I would have had my special meditatio cushion that I got on Amazon. I would have done this. No, I didn't. I'm tired today. Why is it? This is going to push me back. Oh, I hope that they're not always this long. That's the That's just the mental need to describe an experience, to containerize it so that it can be somehow absorbed into the this. It's okay, no problem, we do that. I do that too, sometimes. But we do this to really get that connection to, actually we are infinite time. We are infinite space. And infinite time, infinite space means, how can you understand that? Moment. In the moment you heard that, there was no inside, no outside. There was no long or short. Now when you think about it, it's in the past, but in that moment of experience, that pure, that's it. And that's what we're doing. So in the sitting, thinking comes and goes, oh, how long is this? That's okay. It's the clouds in the sky, but the infinity behind the clouds. If you have a little bit of patient application of effort, because we're embodied, we have bodies that need to carry along with this. So if you do a little bit, you get that deeper bungee jump, that slow motion bungee jump back into your original home. Another word for your original home is moment. And that's not long or short. It's infinite. And it's never born and it never dies. And it never appears and it never disappears. Even we blow up the whole world, it will not. Disappear or be broken. wonderful to take this bungee jump with all of you together. A group bungee jump. That's Zen.